Hey, what's crack-a-lackin' everybody? This is Like It's 1985, and today we are going to take a look at the knockoff, oversized Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Bumblebee. Now, when I get knockoffs, I typically like to get knockoffs that are oversized, and this figure here is definitely oversized as compared to the Hasbro original on the right. Definitely a vast size difference there. So that, to me, is pretty cool. I like that size difference. So, to also further illustrate the size difference, let me bring in a Transformers Alternators figure. These figures were typically in the 1 to 24 scale, if I'm not mistaken. And so you can see Bumblebee is actually bigger than that, that alternator there. Shock Blast, or Shockwave, however you want to call them. But yeah, there you go. Pretty darn cool. So, just loving the size on this. There's actually one bigger than this, but I thought that was kind of ridiculous to go bigger than this. This is actually the right size. This is definitely a large Voyager class type of vehicle. So really nice. Compared to the original, you can see the color difference, a different shade of yellow, different paint apps with the windshield, and you know, the sculpt pretty much is identical. I am noticing that there are only 2 of these missiles, whereas the Hasbro has a total of 6. I don't recall if the figure did come with all 6. I see pictures on the Surtoys showing that there's actually 4 in picture. I got this figure a while back, so I don't recall, to be honest. It could have came with 6 of the missiles, but I would have thought I would have kept them all together, so it's likely that there's only 2 missiles, which is a shame if that's the case. And the other thing is that the knockoff here does not come with the gun that you can see that the original does come with. So there's the differences there. But yeah, this, just like the original, this detaches here. You can display the car just like that, or with the massively oversized crossbow on top. It does fit in there just nicely on the peg hole. No problems there. Well, if you move it enough, it'll fall out, but pegs in pretty solidly, as well as in the front as well. And this actually seems like a tighter peg, yeah, or peg hole rather. In terms of the overall quality, you know, it's a knockoff. You can see there's some panel gap here, and you can kind of push them together, but they kind of just come back apart. It doesn't concern me too much, again, because it's a knockoff, and just the fact that it's oversized kind of overshadows that to me, in my mind. But there are issues like that. It could be just the way that I transformed it, I don't know. But I suspect it's just a knockoff issue. But overall, it doesn't look too bad to me. It's really the overall size that I'm going for. And this is a massive, massive figure here, just in vehicle mode. So let's go ahead and skip straight over to the robot mode, and I'll show you some comparisons there as well. And I'm back, and here is a size comparison in robot mode. Again, a nice size difference between the original and the knockoff. Now, one thing where the knockoff also excels in is in the paint apps, particularly on the torso. Take a look at the Hasbro version. No paint apps, just a bland, dull, boring torso. Right? Compare it to the knockoff version, which has fantastic paint apps. Really, really nice. So I like that the knockoff actually improves on the figure, not only in terms of size, but in terms of detail, like paint apps. So definitely nice to see that as well. And if you're wondering about how the figure holds up in robot mode in terms of the joints, I actually had problems with the original as well, and actually more problems getting this figure to stand up. That's just loose, and this guy's loose as well, but not to the degree as the original, so that's kind of ironic. So really, joint-wise, there's no problem here, I don't think, in the knockoff version. Let me bring in another size comparison. This is the Voyager Beast Hunters Optimus Prime, and you can see how even the knockoff figure towers over the original Hasbro Voyager Beast Hunters Optimus Prime here. So just another size comparison to think about there. So yeah, very, very nice. Articulation is the same as in the original, so I won't really go into that. But you can see, you know, if you like this particular Bumblebee figure, then this is definitely one I recommend you pick up. I'll put a link down below to the Surtoys page where you can find this figure. I'm just looking at the back of the legs, and here's one difference that's kind of where the knockoff suffers. You can see the back of the legs here are filled in plastic. Here they're hollow. That's one thing I just noticed actually now. Now, as far as the crossbow goes, he can hold the weapon, not really hold, but he can actually mount the weapon on the side of his arm. There's a slot right there. I find that the actual hands, the peg hole in the hand is not enough to actually hold the peg on this crossbow. So there's that issue. I believe, well, we can test this out right now. The original should be able to hold its crossbow, I thought. We can take a look here and see. Yeah, I can hold its crossbow, as you can see there. So there's that issue there, but I think it looks good on the side of the arm anyways, but it's not really in there that well, so it could fall off pretty easily. But you can get it in there just for, you know, posing or taking pictures is fine. Even displaying it should be fine. So there is that functionality. As far as the crossbow itself, it does have a spring in there. I've got it to work maybe once or twice. Other times it just kind of didn't really work that well, so I think the spring maybe is not either that good a quality or not really well placed in there. I'm not sure which it is. But no big deal to me because, you know, I'm not going to be firing off missiles. But if you're expecting that functionality, you maybe want to be aware of that as well. Alright, thanks for watching. This has been my review of the knockoff, oversized Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Bumblebee.